Howdy folks, it's Ultra here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to do the last available bush trip at the time of this recording. By the time you watch this, I assume Sim Update 10 is definitely out, although it's not out as I record this, and maybe World Update 11, although I kind of doubt it. So I think, if my timing is correct, when I finish this last bush trip that's available, wherever it is, somewhere in here. Where are you? There you are, right here, California Dreams. When I finish this last bush trip available at the time of this recording, it should be caught up in real life, in real time too, I think. So that's what we're going to do today. Before that though, back of the house stuff like usual. Comments about bush trips. I'm getting more and more comments on my bush trip videos, which is great because that means that more and more people are doing bush trips. But if this is the first time you've done a bush trip or seen a bush trip, you can't really be a beginner. I know this is an activity thing, like they got the flight training activities and then the Maverick activities and then landing activities, and now this is activities, which might imply they're for beginning pilots, but these are not. You have to know how to fly. You have to know how, like, not just like get in the air. You actually have to know how to fly because your mixture is not auto, your rudder is not auto. You got to know how to fly. You have to know how to fly high altitude, right? So you got to know how to control your mixture and conditioner depending on the type of plane you fly. And you have to know how to land, like in really difficult situations. I've done thousands of landings, and even I'm struggling with a lot of these landings and some of these bush trips. My landings used to be terrible, but then for a couple years, every landing I had was awesome. You know, so I did get better. That's what I'm trying to say, is I finally got better at landing. But with these bush trips, man, even I'm struggling with a lot of them. So you got to know how to fly. So I'm just saying that because I've had some comments about how do I do this, how do I do that. I'm like, well, if you're asking those questions and you're not ready for a bush trip, and I'm not trying to offend those people who might be watching this video, but it's very unlikely that those people are also watching this video. But anyway, so if this is your first time watching a bush trip or doing a bush trip, you gotta know how to fly. It's not beginner stuff. And then you have to know how to navigate, right? Which really has nothing, well, kind of has something to do with flying an airplane, but you gotta understand headings and timings, and you gotta understand if you're 1 degree off or if you get blown off course, after 10 minutes, you're gonna be a couple miles away from where you're supposed to be. So you gotta know how to fly, and you have to know how to navigate. So anyway, there's a back of the house introduction. This was interesting, and yeah, here we go. The last bush trip to catch up. Here we go, California Dreams. All right, looks like we're in the Grand Caravan, which in X-Plane was one of my favorite planes in Microsoft. I don't fly it enough, so I'm kind of neutral about it. It does have reversers, you know, because it's a turboprop, so that'll be nice. We will have that capability, so I don't have to panic. That being said, we can kind of look at where we're going to land. A lot of open field stuff, which is great. It makes it hard to find them, though, kind of. Oh, good. So far, every runway is going to be a piece of cake. I was hoping this would be an easy bush trip, just because some of them have been kind of difficult lately. Oh, yeah, look at this. Every single one. Oh, yeah. Every single one is going to be easy. Cool, good. I'm very excited about that, to be honest. We're going to try to do 2 legs per video, like usual. Those of you who have not seen a bush trip video, this first introduction you're getting is longer than normal. Subsequent videos, we just jump right in and start flying. Maybe we'll do 3 legs for this one, though. I generally do 1 leg per video, but we're going to just start combining them just because we get like 5-6 months ahead sometimes if I do 1 leg per video. So we'll do 2 legs, maybe 3 for some of these. So that'd be the plan. It says 4.5 hours, but usually when something says 4.5 hours, it takes me about 6.5 or 7. So let's plan on 7 hours. Split up among several videos, of course. All right, here we go. We start at Catalina. Oh, really? Catalina Island? Or maybe just Catalina. I don't know. We'll see. And then we go to the Sea Ranch. Okay, cool. All right, the state of California is one of the most geographically diverse places in the world. It hosts a tremendous range of sites from urban to coastal to desert to mountain, much more. That's because the state is so huge. California is like the state of 1 or 2 countries, site of 1 or 2 countries in Europe, but it's vertical though. It's not very wide, but it's vertical, so of course you're going to get diversity if you have a big sample, right, of the Earth. But anyway, I digress. The state contains both the highest point in the continental conterminous United States, Mount Whitney, and the lowest point in the country, Badwater Basin. It is home to a grand monument of infrastructure and architecture like the Golden Gate Bridge of San Francisco and the U.S. Bank Tower of Los Angeles. It is also a realm steeped in history, notably of those inspired to dream big and to create masterpieces of technology and art of all types, to strike off and explore the peaks, shorelines, and other reaches of the state. California Dreams, California Dreamer, you know that song, celebrates this part of the United States through an aerial itinerary that weaves through the most spectacular, the most renowned, and the most historic that the state has to offer. Beginning at Santa Catalina Island, it is Catalina Island, one of Southern California's Channel Islands. The flight visits Los Angeles, the Mojave Desert, Death Valley, the High Sierra, the Great Central Valley, and San Francisco before coming to an end on the Northern California coast. Oh, good. So we do the Los Angeles stuff first. Okay, good. Since we don't need to worry about back on track, and there are no achievements, and I am aware of all of our achievements are caught up except for the 500 and 1,000 hour achievements, because those OG, those of us who've been here from the very beginning, had a lot of our hours wiped. So I just considered I've done all the achievements. All right, so Catalina Island. I want to go there someday. Someday I'll get there. Landing at that airport, which you've done many times in other simulators, is very tricky because it's on a cliff. So you gotta be careful. But we're taking off from there, I guess. And then that means we're gonna see Los Angeles right away, because Los Angeles and Long Beach are right across from the island. So we'll see how far we get in 25 minutes. Let's get going. Alright, so looking at the map, they load a map for you when you're loading. If, let's say, California goes up and down like this, we're going from here, basically Los Angeles, to here, San Francisco, for the most part, except it's bringing us over the mountains through the desert and up like this. Assuming you can see my mouse. So from beginning to end, it would be a quick, like, 2-hour flight. But they're making us go into the eastern part of California, which is super cool. Just thought I'd point that out in case you're wondering where we are. So look on the map to Los Angeles, San Francisco, basically, but go inland and then weave around. So anyway, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. Let's repair and refuel right away, and we will hop outside so I can show you the island in a moment. I have done, I think on the channel, I've done like a Catalina Island tour thing, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure I have. All right, let's get the wind down there. Not that it matters for bush trips usually, except the Patagonia one. Wind is insane. But anyway, this does have reversers. It has flaps. What flaps are we at here? Where are flaps on here? They're here somewhere. Flap 1, there we go. 2 sets. We'll do 1 set. Anything else you need to worry about on this airplane? Again, I don't fly this very often in this particular sim. I used to fly it all the time in X-Plane. I think we got everything we need to worry about. Those aren't even clickable in this sim. Oh, there we go. I don't think you need to worry about anything else. I think I'm overthinking this for a bush trip. We can come down here next. Zoom that out, though. Of course, we know where we are, but anyway, so yeah, there's Catalina Island. We're going to go into Los Angeles and up here. So there you go. Let's zoom like this, maybe. Otherwise, let's hop outside. And yes, my toe is still broken, so it hurts to touch my rudders. I'm trying to do a 1-foot rudder thing. Anyway, so you can see you land on a cliff. It's pretty crazy. It's a cliff from both directions, I think. Yeah, see how it slopes down here. Yeah, so it's a tricky airport to land at. So fortunately for us, we're starting here, I guess. Very detailed, very smooth, very high frame rates. Wow. And there's Los Angeles over there. Okie dokie. Actually, more like over here, but you get the idea. Alright, I think that's all we need to do and worry about. Our introduction is already much too long. Oh yes, because this is the first leg of a bush trip, we do get GPS. And we have the POIs on our map. And then once we leave the sim and come back, then we'll lose this. So we will take advantage, just for this first video of this bush trip, and we'll let the GPS fly us, and we'll see the POIs on the map. But then we'll leave the sim for the next video, and then we have to manually navigate, right? I just let us do this just the first time, because why not? What are we headed to? Yeah, we are going to Mike Delta. So yes, we're going to go right over Los Angeles into the mountains and the high desert right there. Alright, so very simple. Let's get autopilot set up, and then we'll read about what we're doing. There's autopilot in this, right? There has to be. And just like that, it's half an hour later in real life because I had to go do something, and I found autopilot is right up here in front of my face. I guess in my defense, looking in this position was over here. So anyway, let's get autopilot set up, flight director, and I'm going to use nav, which is GPS, for these two videos I just talked about, the GPS thing. Altitude, what is altitude in this one? Altitude select. Let's stay kind of low for now so we can see the city. So let's go 3,000 for now, and then we will climb once we get to those mountains just outside of LA. Vertical speed then, of course. Let's use a casual 1,100 feet per minute. I think we can do in this one. And I want to mention flight director because whenever I turn autopilot off, I also turn the flight director off. And I thought maybe I was just a weirdo. I'm like, maybe I should leave it on. But then I was watching a video on Aviation 101. I assume most of you know who that is. And he was learning a glass cockpit for his own aircraft in a different aircraft. And the guy, the trainer, was like, turn off autopilot and let's turn off flight director. So I guess I'm not crazy after all. Alrighty, I think that's it. Let's read about where we're going. I don't remember where we are totally in the video because I had to leave, but I think this is where we are. We're taking off. We're going to Long Point after lifting into the sky from Catalina Airport, across the Gulf of Santa Catalina, leaving Santa Catalina Island, the easternmost of the mountainous Channel Islands. Hang on, the easternmost? Yeah, it is. There's some other islands out there that are, yeah, okay, that would be, of course it's right, but yeah. I'm just in my head, putting a map in my head. Yeah, easternmost of the mountainous Channel Islands, archipelago. I still can't say that word. I see it all the time, still can't say it. Archipelago. Long Point is a promontory, okay, just to the west of the port cities of San Pedro and Long Beach. I've been to Long Beach. I have stories about Long Beach. Am I going to talk about stories in this video? I might. I know a good 80% of you love the stories. I haven't been telling them all that often. It used to be a story every video. That was just the way we rolled or flew. Haha. Is we would tell a story every video. I don't do that anymore. I just tell them sometimes. And perhaps we will this time. Alright, so yeah, we're just crossing the waters, what this means. So we'll let GPS do the talking for us, and then we'll know where we are. And then, like I said, in subsequent videos, we will do our own navigation. But since we can, let's look. Long Point is right when we cross. Long Beach is over here. And then LA is right there. So Long Point, and then we'll go right over Los Angeles, I think. Okay, parking brake off. Let's get going. We've talked enough. Parking brake is on now, apparently, which is fine. I could have to adjust my rudders anyway because I'm one-footing my rudders because of my broken toe. Alright, here we go. In this video, I think in editing, I'm going to put the sim sound up a little higher than normal. Whoops, sorry, I'm adjusting my volume on a different part of my desk. But hopefully it's not too loud. Gear is fixed, so it doesn't come up. And flaps coming in. Let's immediately engage autopilot just so we can look around quickly. There we go. Super smooth handoff. Can't even tell. Bring my props a little bit because they're in the red. Oh wait, no, this one is props and throttle, so it's out of the red. Okay, and hop outside. There we go. Very steep turn, but oh my gosh, look how beautiful this is. Oh my gosh, it's like a gazillion times better than X-Plane, because we've been here many times in X-Plane, so I can make that comparison. Wow. I want to look at this for a second. I want to visit this island someday. I've been to Long Beach once and Los Angeles once. Did not get to this island, just because it's kind of a lot of work. You got to ferry or fly. It's expensive. We had kids with us. And with my health, I can't really go hiking around, which is all you would really do here. So, I'm just enjoying it. Ignore the cliffs, though. They look terrible, but other than that... Is this thing lilting? What the heck? Anyway, yeah, see there's a bunch of islands out here, see? And they're like, you know, underwater mountain range, basically. Can't see the others, but they're there. So anyway, Long Beach is over here. We're not going to be able to see it. A lot of ship traffic, and that's where some of the supply chain from the world got hung up, or still is hung up maybe, in Long Beach. You heard about it in the news, I'm sure. It's right here. See this? All the ports. This is where all the ship traffic got hung up, delaying goods to most of the United States, actually. Right through here, they all come through Long Beach. So if you were paying attention to the news, this is it right here. So you know where we are. Los Angeles is up here. Long Point is right here. So let's see. Normally what we do then is we do sightseeing without my voice until we get to the next place, and we're going to do that just now because it is a little ways across. So sightseeing of water for like 30-40 seconds, and I'll see you in a moment. Alright, I'm going to actually climb us up because we're already going to run into problems as soon as we reach land. So let's go up to 5,000 feet. So move this up to 5,000, and then we'll go even higher once we get closer to the mountains if we have to. And then it's the high desert, and what that means is it's a desert, but it's... hello? Where's my click spot? Excuse me. Vertical speed. There we go. It's because it's a desert that's high, right? And a lot of people actually get sick in the spring in California because the winds of the desert blow across and something. All my friends who live out there mention that a lot of people get sick, like with weird allergies in the spring in Los Angeles because of the high desert wind. So that's very interesting. It's a very weird, warm wind. I was there during that season, and it's interesting. So there's LAX, which I'm sure you all know, and I've been there in the sim many times. Here are the Long Beach shipyards that I was just talking about, where the holdup was for goods entering the U.S. And then Los Angeles itself will come into view. You know, Beverly Hills, Hollywood, Los Angeles, all along here. Pasadena's on the other side of the mountains. Like I said, I've been here twice. Once when my wife was at a conference way before children. That was kind of fun. I just drove around in the Hollywood Hills by myself all day long in a rental Dodge Neon, and it was insane because I was doing like 85 miles an hour in the right lane, and people were catching up to me, flashing the lights at me for going too slow, even though speeding was 65. And I was in the right lane of like 8 lanes, so leave me alone. Anyway, and then the other time I was here was to have a vacation and visit one of friends from the Eternia Minecraft server. Two people. Met up with 2 people out here. And I got to tour a bunch of pianos. If you go on my piano channel and look at the piano tour, I got to play a bunch of high-end pianos right out here. I think it was right where it was. It was Living Pianos before they moved. Not Living Pianos was one of like 6 places, but it was all like right here, I think, in this area. So that's really all the stories I'm going to give on Los Angeles, but I just wanted to point that out. All right, 10 hours in this thing. All right, here is Long Point. So what is next? 2 minutes away is Torrance. Fly inland toward downtown LA and its tall skyscrapers passing over Torrance. So we are going to, what am I doing? So we are going to head to LA in just a moment. Looks like in any second now. 32 seconds, I guess. We're going to turn inland, but you can kind of see now that things are rendering in the neighborhoods all along the water. It'd be cool if there were a lot more ship traffic out here, because this is always full of ships all the time. But you can see like the shipyards here, the highway going in and out. That's a really hybrid. That's really cool. All right, we're heading towards downtown, it says. So I'll give you some sightseeing and we'll see what happens when we pass LAX and downtown, and then we'll read about the next thing after that. No, let's read about it right now. Downtown Los Angeles continued toward the skyscrapers and weaves of highways of downtown Los Angeles. Set against the backdrop of the San Gabriel Mountains, downtown Los Angeles comprises of California's greatest architectural feats, including Wilshire Grand Center, the tallest building on the West Coast, and the US Bank Tower. And I did drive through downtown LA when I was out there. Griffith Park is right after that. One of California's most notable destinations of Griffith Park, named after industrialist Griffin J. Griffith, who donated the land to the city of Los Angeles in 1896. The park is home to the famous Hollywood sign, the Griffith Observatory, the Los Angeles Zoo, and at one time the Griffith Park Aerodrome. We'll see if we can see that Los Angeles or Hollywood sign from the plane. It's kind of hard to make out unless we were to stop and stare. But anyway, you can see now that things are rendering in how gorgeous this is. Look at that, all their clay tile roofs out here. And there's LAX right here. There we go. Isn't that cool? Okay, it's like the next day in real life. Is this Long Beach Airport? I think it is. I had something happen or come up, and I had to. No, it's not Long Beach. That's Long Beach. I had something come up and leave the sim. I left it paused though overnight. I don't think it's going to count my time because it only counts your time if you active pause. So it shouldn't say something crazy like 20 hours. But yeah, I don't know what I was doing or what I was saying, so the editing was probably weird there. But anyway, there's LAX. I guess we'll go to sightseeing since I don't know what I was going to say. We'll look at Los Angeles. We'll look for the Hollywood sign back here. I do know where it is, and I've been there in real life. I can't remember from the air though how you see it. But anyway, that's what we're going to do, and then after we get past that area, we will read about the next thing. I don't want to really climb though yet because I want to see the city better, but if we need to climb, I'll climb. But anyway, enjoy the sightseeing while I regroup here. Alright, we're coming up on Los Angeles. I'm hoping we'll see the Los Angeles sign here, but we're kind of at the mercy of the autopilot bringing us around. So, the Hollywood sign is over here on one of these hills. Is it that right there sticking out like a sort of thumb? No, that wouldn't make sense. Because you see from this highway here, when you go through here, see this S-curve, you see it from there. So I think it's actually over there maybe. We'll see where the sim takes us, but let's hop outside because the autopilot is putting us directly over Los Angeles, which is fine, but then you can't see what you're trying to see. So we'll have to do it this way. Alright, let's see, I'm just looking around, trying to find that sign here. I don't know. Well, there's the observatory, so it has to be right here, because it's just below the observatory. We'll see if it brings us there. Okay, let's hop inside. If you want to see more of Los Angeles, and you gotta look like this, or rewind the tape a little bit. But there we go. Boom. That's what we're supposed to be looking at, are those two buildings right there. Look at all the helipads on top. Oh my gosh, every building had a helipad. And there you go, there's Hollywood. Bam. That's Hollywood. See all the buildings. Apartments there. Everything is there. The theaters there and everything. Is that how they're representing the Hollywood sign right there? We'll have to see how they do it. I'm really curious, but we're going to stick together here for this section, and then we'll read about the next thing once we start turning, and then we'll climb another 2,000 feet to clear that terrain. I just want to see if we can actually see the Hollywood sign. This is a weird direction, too, to see it. I don't think it's there. I think it's over here. I thought it was over here. I mean, I've been there before. Yeah, it's like over here, I think. Let's hop outside, use the drone. I actually have a photo taking off from LAX, and you can see the Hollywood sign is like 2 pixels. Here's Pasadena, Burbank. I do not see the Hollywood sign. I mean, you wouldn't see it from this angle anyway, because we'd be going right by it. Weird. Anyway, it's on these hills, and you can see from the highway over here. Is it right here? Because there's the observatory. I know that's there. See all these hiking trails? You see when celebrities do like vlogs hiking. These are the trails they're hiking in. There's the Hollywood sign right there. See it? There we go. Perfect. This is where it's supposed to be. But you wouldn't see that if you didn't know you were looking for it. But there it is. See? I know what I'm talking about sometimes. It was just weird rendering it. It didn't render until way later. So anyway, these are the trails you see people like. If you watch Kevin Nealon, he does like he does some hiking with celebrities and stuff. Those are the trails he's hiking on. I have a really good friend out there too, and she hikes on those trails and does her work from laptop on those hills. Lots of animals at night though, like coyotes and stuff. You gotta be really careful. But anyway, let's climb a couple thousand feet here, and then we'll read about the next thing. Let's go up to 7,000. Hopefully that'll be enough. Vertical speed, please. And then up about 800 feet per minute, 900, 1100, whatever, just to get over these hills. Alright, let's read about the next thing. After Griffith Park, we have Mount Wilson, 5,700 feet. Mount Wilson is part of the San Gabriel Mountains and notable for the Mount Wilson Observatory, which contains some of the most historically significant telescopes in the world. Dating to the early 1900s, the observatory continues to serve science with a number of instruments in its use to this day. So we're going to fly over an observatory in 4 minutes or so, obviously. Let's see if it comes up here. Take advantage of the GPS just for this leg, or these 2 legs. That POI 5, I'm pretty sure it's POI 5, right? It is. And where in the mountain is before the really big ones. So this dark stuff here is this stuff back here, which we're not even going to go to. So one of these mountains, probably this one, has an observatory on it, which we'll probably see from the airplane. So I'm going to give you some more sightseeing between reading here and enjoy Los Angeles before we head to the mountains. I'll see you back in a little bit. Okie dokie, enjoying the scenery, but we have the observatory right there under our nose. So when we get there, we will it'll make our turn for us and read about it. But I'm just enjoying how cool and realistic this looks. Because I have flown here in real life, and this is exactly what it looks like. So if I were to move this in the right direction like this and send that to somebody, they would not know this is a sim. That is exactly, I have photos from the airplane. That's what it looks like in real life. Over here, not so much. This looks like a painting. Anyway, observatory coming up here, and then we're going to turn. Man, is the elevation correct? Because we're at 7,000 feet. It said it's 5,700, but that looks pretty hairy, doesn't it? So we need to climb even more. I always wonder about the train data. You cannot rely on it when it comes to the sim, because yeah, we are not at that terrain level. Good grief. Let's climb. We're going to climb somewhat briskly here. Just keep an eye on the speed. Let's hop outside under the airplane and check out the observatory. So we got some mountains here. The observatory must be like right there. It says there's going to be a bunch of telescopes, so we will look for them when we get there. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy the scenery. Whoops, I don't have my left foot working out because of my toe, my broken toe. Anywho, let's Just enjoy this a little bit. Looking back, Los Angeles under the tail. Hollywood right here, Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills. People live in there, obviously there's Hollywood there. It is really difficult to drive in the Hollywood Hills. Are those all the telescopes and things? It must be. I don't see any telescopes. It must be inside. Imagine like hanging out right here. Oh my goodness. But anywho, let's hop inside, look out the window, read about the next thing, and move forward here. Blackbird Air Park continuing to the north over the crest of the Sangre Mountains into the Antelope Valley, sighting Palmdale in the distance. Just to the north of downtown Palmdale lies the Blackbird Air Park, which is an annex of the Air Force Flight Test Museum, which has on display a Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, a Lockheed U-2 Dragon Lady, a Lockheed A-12 progenitor to the SR-71. We're going to talk about that SR-71, and a Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. So that's 7 minutes out, and then Palmdale, United States Air Force Plant 42, continue north and land at the Palmdale Airport, the location of the famed Skunk Works facility. All right, before we turn you loose to the final bit of sightseeing for this leg, I'll look at the Ridge Road. Quickly talking about driving back there in those hills is crazy because people take their SUVs and they just fly around corners and you get hit almost every time. How people don't crash into each other, I don't know, but I think they actually do crash a lot. It was really scary. Check out the river going through here. It was really scary. Anyway, but they got mirrors, big huge mirrors on the corners, so you can see people coming on the corner. It's nuts. And then all the hills are on hills and cliffs, so you're driving around like the top of a hill. You see the entrance gated, everything's gated. They gate the entrance to a house, but then you go around the corner and the house goes down the hill. That's amazing, but scary at the same time. Anyway, SR-71, everybody might know the song 1985 by Bowling for Soup. That was actually written by the band SR-71, named after the airplane. And they said, Bowling for Soup, hey, you guys would probably do a better job with our song. So they did, and it became a huge hit. SR-71, check out that band as well. And Bowling for Soup. I was just at a Bowling for Soup concert. Way too loud, but it was fun. Anyway, alright, back to here. So you're going to sightsee now until we find the airport. So check out the town, and then there's our airport right up there. So I will turn you loose until we get to the approach. Have a good time checking stuff out. I'll see you in a little bit. Palmdale is just ahead, of course, so let's hop over here and start descending. Let's go down to, I don't know, 3,500 feet. I have no idea what the altitude is out here without Googling it. I don't want to Google it. I like to do everything in sim. So we're just going to go like this, 800 feet per minute, bring back throttle so we don't overspeed. But otherwise, we're going to just descend using autopilot, and then eventually we will take over by hand. I've mentioned many times now that I'm disappointed that it doesn't give you altitudes for your airport or airport elevation. Whoops, wrong button. Let's use that button. There we go. Yep, just as land. Alrighty, well, oh my gosh, hit the wrong button again. Too many keys. I only use 3. I use 4. Navigation, barometer, and gyro sync, and then map sometimes. Anywho, nothing else to say other than looking at Palmdale and then Air Park and then the airport. As long as you land at the correct airport, we'll be good to go. And the scenery out here looks more like a painting than it does realistic, like back there. But the Nevada, California Gold Rush trip was also very painting-like, but oh, see, now it's better quality, right? From the satellite imagery. I mean, it's still absolutely amazing. It's just Some parts are better than others. Anywho, is that our airport right there? Are we really coming up on it that fast? I guess we could be. So I guess it's time to take over and land. I didn't realize that. I thought that was like a different airport and we're going somewhere else. Okay, let's bring throttles back so we can descend it quickly. Be careful of that overspeed, and then we'll slip it if we need to. Let's give ourselves a very nice space for a final. That looks pretty good though. Cars driving around, I love it. I love it so much. Mind our speed. Is that our airport? It must be. Okay. I thought we were going to go over an air park and then land at the Air Force Base, but apparently that's the same thing. Alright. Focus, don't overspeed. Let's come down and get ready for a final here. This thing is so easy to fly. I almost feel like it can't possibly be realistic if it's this easy. But apparently it is. This is a very bush trippy approach, isn't it? But I like it. We'll land and we'll have to see if we get the save icon. If we don't, then that means there's another runway up ahead, but I think this is going to be it. I think it's just so long that the GPS shows it farther up than it is. Here we go. We do have reversers. We're not going to need them, but we're going to use them anyway because it's fun. And crank up the volume so you can hear them reverse. Here we go. Oh my gosh, this thing just lands itself. This is so easy to fly. A little bit of crosswind though, I like it. So we'll do a little bit of right rudder, left wing down. More right. My rudder stopped working. That was weird. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, what? I know. I'm just. Come here. Okay. Oh, stop it. Reversers because we can. There we go. Yes, I know I said it was landing itself and then it bounces grip the landing, but remember I'm doing rudders with my right foot both directions. Remember that. I'm one footing my rudders. And I was trying to do a crosswind thing. So anyway, enough experimenting. We will do better next time. So let's move on to leg 2. Alright, come down here. Whoa. Oh, is this gonna do the weird what do you call it? Frame rate thing I'll explain in a minute. Alright, let's repair and refuel and zoom this out a little bit, because that's the drill. Zoom that a little bit, even more. Maybe like this for now. Alrighty, cool. Let's set up autopilot since we're down here. Let's go back up to 6,000 feet for now. Why isn't it doing thousands? Okay, whatever. Whoop. Go up to 6,000 feet for now. What the heck? It's not registering all my mouse wheels. Dude, what's going on here? What the heck? Come on. We'll make it. There's 5,000. And let's start at 6,000. There we go. Flight director. We're going to use GPS for this leg since we haven't left the sim yet. Vertical speed, 1,100 feet per minute. Seems to be okay. 12, fine. That's where we're stopped. Okay, let's see. Whoa, okay, so the frame rate thing, we've talked about this before, but I know not everybody watches every video, but some of these handcrafted airports, your frame rates are terrible, but as soon as your wheels leave the ground, you're back up in the 60s or higher. So it's just a weird bug. It's a known bug, but they obviously haven't done anything about it. Alright, we're just going to stay where we are here, and we're going to continue. So what do we got? We've got Rosamond Dry Lake. After launching, head north to Rosamond Dry Lake, located within Edwards Air Force Base. And that's 4 minutes out. And we're going to take advantage again of the GPS because we can. But the next video with the next leg will obviously hand fly everything. And where's our GPS track? Oh, there it is. Okay. And that's POI 7, which was up here. So we're going to go up to a dry lake, and then we'll turn and we'll read about it. Super simple. All right, parking brake on or off. I don't know what it is. What is it? It is off. Okay, good. All right, you see the frame rates are terrible, but it's, oh gosh, it's so hard to rudder with one foot. Oh, my broken toe. Anyway, as soon as we're in the air, our frame rates will go back up, and up we go. There we go. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed. Flaps coming in. And oh my gosh, again, it just flies itself. Like, this is the easiest plane. This is easier than the Cessnas, than the 152 and 172. But as soon as we get past the runway here, we'll engage autopilot. Then your frame rate should go back up. There we go. Yeah, now see, they just got better. See, now they're perfect again. Just like that. Alrighty, autopilot, wherever you are, there you go. And we're gonna make a turn. And head for this dry lake, which we can already see, but it wants us to take 4 minutes to get there. So enjoy the scenery as we depart, and I'll see you at the dry lake. And there's our dry lake. So let's read about the next thing before it turns us here. We're going to go to Rogers Dry Lake, which is another 4 minutes out. National Historic Landmark Rogers Dry Lake, part of the Edwards Air Force Base, was used to test a number of experimental aircraft, including the Bell X-1, in which Chuck Yeager first broke the sound barrier and space shuttle orbiters to land after returning from missions. Alright, so there'll be another dry lake. Let's see what it looks like here on the map. Once you get the thing in there we go. So there's 7. We're on it right now because there's that little lake right there. It's going to turn us any second. And there's another one next to the Air Force Base, which is quite elaborate. You can see everything there. So we'll be turning here in a moment, and then there we go. There is the Air Force Base, and there's the other dry lake. So we're going to head there next. So any second it'll turn us, and I'll see you over here. And we're coming up on the Air Force Base now, if it isn't already obvious. And it's under the plane though, so it's hard to see, but that's okay. So let's read about the next thing here. Let's see, Air Force Base, Hellendale Radar Cross Country Facility. From the, oh my gosh, I almost choked on air. From the Rogers Dry Lake, continue east-southeast over the desert to Hellendale. Radar cross-section facility used to test and develop low observable stealth aircraft. And that's 8.5 minutes out. So that's a ways out from now. Let's see where that is on our VFR map here. Oh, where are you? Okay, it's just a straight shot to it. So we'll hopefully be able to figure that out. Okie dokie. Alright. Oh yeah, here. I love these. I love these desert, or salt runways and stuff. I'm trying to say, we've been here before. Area 51 is over there. We've done some Area 51 stuff in X-Plane. You can look it up on my channel. I actually did a pretty creative flight to Area 51. And here as well, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Look at that long runway that starts there. And it goes off into the salt to make it longer. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. That's really what it looks like. So awesome. Anywho, let's fly out to this next destination, and I will see you when we get there. Well, so far it's just a lot of desert, although it is beautiful too, of course, in a desert way. But we're about to get to our next place, Hellendale, or whatever they called it. Hellendale, yeah. So may as well read the rest of these while we're waiting to get to Hellendale. Site of Solar One. Pass over the city of Barstow, and just to its east lies the site of Solar One, an experimental solar power project, and right next to that is Barstow-Daggett Airport to conclude this first video of the California bush trip. But I wonder if we'll be able to see this, because we'll be busy lining up for this. So anyway, so we'll get to Hellendale in just a moment, then the airplane will turn in about 2 minutes, and then we'll look for solar panels and our destination airport. Alpha Golf. Is it too far away to see it if we zoom out? Yep. Alrighty, well, I'll keep an eye on that, and I will see you in about 8 minutes or so, I guess, my time. And enjoy the sightseeing. I'll try to make it interesting, do the best I can. See you in a little bit. Alright, airport is up ahead. I don't quite see it yet, but it's out there. And so there are some solar panels, I guess. Not exactly sure, but let's turn off autopilot. I think, and start flying in, and hand flying in because I want to. Turn off autopilot, don't turn off flight director, and it's a straight in type thing. Whoa, bring back throttles, and we go straight up. That's interesting. Trim down because we don't want to climb sky high. Looking for an airport. Well, there's the city, right? So they said just beyond the city. So there's the city, and there's gonna be solar panels in an airport up here probably. Let's trim down a little bit more. I guess we can keep our speed up while we descend, or else we'll take forever to get this final little bit done. There's our town. Let's go like this and keep an eye on our speed here while we go to the town. Sorry, I'm quiet because I'm looking out for the airport. I don't see anything, and that imagery isn't the greatest down there, but still better than a lot of other options. So fly straight in to this airport that I don't see yet. And I know it's paved because when I previewed all the airports in the beginning of the video, they're all paved. It should be pretty easy, and I'm going to try to use both feet on the rudders this time so we can have a smooth landing. Because I don't think you've had a good landing in 12 landings or so due to my broken toe. But we'll do the best we can here. That's an interesting tile difference. Wow. You usually don't see it that obvious, but the scenery is getting better, probably because they wanted it to be better resolution around the airport. I think. I don't know. Oh, is that it right there? That could be it right there. Still not sure. But I'm also looking for a solar farm, which could be right here. This could be the solar farm. Actually, that could be the town. I was wrong. That other thing was not the town. This is the town. And there's a solar farm, and there's the airport, which I still don't quite see. But we'll figure it out. Maybe it's this right here. No, that's too close. Is that the airport? That could be the airport, I guess. Shows a little bit of water before it. I don't see any water out here. But let's stop our descent, because if we get too low, we won't be able to see anything. So I better be careful here. Why is my trim all screwed up? Is my trim not working? It's moving a little bit. I guess it just takes a lot of... Whoa, okay. It just takes a lot of turns on my wheel, on my yoke. Very interesting. Yeah, that has to be a way out here. So is that... Hang on. Where's the solar project? Because this is more than 47 seconds. I mean, those are definitely solar panels. Maybe those are also solar panels? No, that's the water I saw. Okay, whatever. Apparently those were the solar panels back there. There weren't that many, but it was interesting, I guess. Alright, now that we know where we're going, let's get this under control, and let's try to use both feet on the rudder so we can have our first good landing in a very long time. Because I do know how to land, I promise. I sometimes get comments on videos that are like 7 years old, like, this guy can't land. I'm like, well, yeah, it was my first time flying the 727. Like, it was my first time, what do you expect? It's kind of funny, but anyway. Here we go, coming in for the landing. We'll get into flap range here in just a moment. Final looks outside. I love that we're below train level. Look at that road going out there. Alright. Hopefully it goes well. These are the easiest landings we're ever going to have. So hopefully we can do this. First set of flaps. It'll float. That's normal. And don't get too low too soon. We do need to come down. We're pretty high now. And then we'll aim for those numbers. Very long runway, so we'll ride it out. Touchdown right at stall, hopefully. We do have a crosswind. It's the same cross. Actually, it's more of a crosswind. Last time it was 3 knots. Now it's 5 knots. Same angle. I guess we can maybe try that runway there, but we'll do this. So a little bit of crosswind. So left wing down right rudder. You can see it now, the crosswind. Left wing down right rudder. Touchdown left main first, then right, and then nose wheel. Firm touchdown and a crosswind landing, so you don't get across the tracks, get across the runway. Full flap now. We'll see how accurate the stall is on this one, because remember the G36 we stalled like 10 knots ahead of the tape, so we'll see what happens in this one. Let's stay a little fast for now. Nope. Aim for those numbers. Let's not get any slower yet. Why am I whistling masses? I don't know. Very long runway. We're going to ride this out for a while. I just want to see where that stall horn actually comes into play. Alrighty. We're crabbing a little bit, as expected, for a slight crosswind. And let's come down, round it out. Let ground effects take over. Let's see where that stall horn is. Left wing down, right rudder. Where's that stall horn? There we go. We never got to it. Nose wheel down very gently. Boom. Brakes, reversers because we can. Sorry we drifted to the side, but my toe just hurt so dang bad. That was really difficult. And where is it? There it is. 31 minutes, not too bad. Alright, landing was pretty good with a broken toe. Can't complain about that one. So, that's it for this video. We will do 3 legs probably in the next video without GPS. We have to navigate on our own. Like and subscribe so you know when that happens, and I'll see you next time.